The boy no one chose. The city stood under a gray sky, cold and silent. Steel towers reached upward like broken spears, and glowing screens floated in the air, showing the same message again and again. Dragon Bonding Day. All eligible children must report. For most children, this day meant hope. For Eliur, it meant fear. Eliur stood at the edge of the crowd, thin shoulders pulled tight under an old jacket. He was smaller than the others, quieter too. His boots were worn, his hands rough from work in scrap yards and machine dumps. No family stood beside him. No one cheered his name. He had learned long ago not to expect that. Every child in the Human Federation knew the truth. Life changed only one way. If a star dragon chose you, you became someone. If not, you became nothing. The great bonding arena opened with a deep metal sound. Inside, glowing energy fields hummed. High above, massive shapes moved behind transparent shields. Dragons from different clans, colors, and powers. Fire dragons, storm dragons, void dragons, legends with wings. One by one, children stepped forward. A girl with bright eyes was chosen by a silver-winged dragon. Cheers exploded. A tall boy was lifted into the air by a flame dragon. His future was sealed. Eliur watched in silence. His chest felt tight, but his face stayed calm. He had trained himself not to hope too much. Hope hurt more when it broke. Finally, his name echoed through the arena. Eliur, step forward. Murmurs spread through the crowd. That's the scrap kid. He has no record. Why is he even here? Eliur walked alone into the center circle. The floor glowed beneath his feet as the system activated. Blue light scanned his body, his mind, his blood. Above him, the dragons turned their massive heads. For one long moment, everything stopped. Then, one dragon looked away. Another closed its eyes. A third let out a low sound. Not anger, not fear, but disinterest. Seconds passed. Nothing happened. The silence grew heavy. The system beeped once. Then again, a red symbol appeared in the air. No compatible bond found. The words burned brighter than fire. Whispers became laughter. Unchosen. A failure. Send him back. Eliur stood frozen as officials stepped forward. One of them did not even look at him. Record him as rejected, the man said coldly. Next, Eliur turned and walked away. No dragon watched him leave. By nightfall, the city lights flickered on, bright and uncaring. Eliur moved through narrow alleys until the clean towers were far behind him. He reached the place where he felt safest. The scrapyard. Broken machines lay in tall piles. Old ships rusted under the stars. This was where Eliur worked, slept, and survived. He sat down beside a cracked engine and pulled something from under his shirt. A necklace. It was old, dark metal, shaped like a broken circle. Strange marks covered its surface. He had found it years ago, half buried under alien wreckage. No scanner could read it. No trader wanted it. But Eliur kept it, because it was the only thing that had ever stayed with him. He closed his eyes. So that's it, he whispered. I was not chosen. The necklace felt warm against his skin. Eliur frowned. It had never done that before. Suddenly, a soft sound echoed in his mind. Not loud, not angry, calm, ancient. Of course you were not chosen. Eliur jumped to his feet, heart racing. He looked around the scrapyard. No one was there. Who said that? He asked. The warmth grew stronger. They never choose what they fear. Eliur's breath caught. His hands shook as he stared at the necklace. You can talk. A low feeling of amusement filled his head. I have always spoken. You just never listened. The necklace pulsed with dim light. Images flashed in Eliur's mind. Stars burning, dragons falling, chains made of light. Eliur's knees weakened. What are you? He whispered. The voice answered slowly. I'm a dragon they erased. The one they called unwanted. Above the scrapyard, far beyond the city, ancient sensors hidden among the stars flickered to life. Something impossible had awakened, and the boy no one chose was no longer alone. The dragon that should not exist. The scrapyard was silent. Too silent. Eliur stood frozen, his fingers tight around the strange necklace. His heart beat fast, loud in his ears. The voice he heard did not fade. It stayed calm, deep, and very real. "You are a dragon?" Elier asked slowly. The necklace warmed again. "I was." Elier swallowed. "Was." A long pause followed. Then the voice returned, heavier this time. "They broke me. They seal me. They erase my name." The air around Elier trembled. Small pieces of metal lifted from the ground, shaking as if the scrapyard itself was listening. Elier stepped back. "Who did this to you?" "Your allies." The words struck hard. Elier shook his head. "Humans don't chain dragons. We bond with them." A low, quiet laugh echoed inside his mind. That is the lie they teach children. Images flooded Elier's thoughts. Dragons wrapped in light chains, screaming without sound. Human ships floating above burning worlds. A council chamber filled with fear. Elier gasped and dropped to one knee. "Stop, please." The images faded. "I forget how weak your body still is," the dragon said. "You are not ready to see everything." Elier breathed hard, sweat cold on his skin. "Why me?" he asked. "Why talk to me now?" The necklace pulsed, slower and stronger. "Because you were not chosen." Elier looked up, confused. "The bonding system does not seek strength," the dragon continued. "It seeks obedience." The scrapyard lights flickered. "You were invisible to them. That made you perfect." Elier stared at the glowing metal in his hand. His whole life, he had been ignored, pushed aside, forgotten. And now, that was the reason. "What do you want from me?" he asked. For the first time, the dragon's voice carried something new. "Hope. I want to wake." Elier's chest tightened. "Wake how?" "Through you." The ground beneath Elier cracked slightly. A bond without chains. A bond they cannot control. Elier's mind raced. "If they find out, they will hunt you," the dragon said calmly. "They will kill you." Silence fell again. Elier laughed once, short and bitter. "That doesn't sound like a choice." The necklace grew warm, almost gentle. "It is the only choice you have ever had." Elier closed his eyes. All his life, he had survived by staying small, staying quiet, staying unseen. But staying unseen had not saved him today. He opened his eyes. "Do it," he said. "Wake up." The necklace shattered. Light exploded outward, but not fire, something deeper, something heavier. The air bent. Sound vanished. Time itself felt slow. A shadow rose behind Elier. Not huge, not fully formed, but powerful. Golden eyes opened in the darkness. Elier screamed, not in fear, but in pain. Lines of light burned across his arms and chest, sinking into his skin like living marks. The dragon's voice echoed everywhere now. Bond accepted. No system detected. No limits applied. Far across the galaxy, ancient machines long thought dead screamed to life. Warning signals flashed in deep space. Unregistered dragon energy detected. In a human Federation command sector, officers froze as red alerts filled their screens. "That signature," one whispered. "It's impossible." A high-ranking commander stood slowly. "Lock down the city," he ordered. "Find the source. And if it's human," he paused. "Terminate." Back in the scrapyard, the light faded. Elier collapsed to the ground, breathing hard. The necklace was gone. In its place, a dark mark rested over his heart, faintly glowing. A quiet voice spoke again, closer now. "Stand, Elier." He forced himself up. The world looked sharper, clearer. He could hear machines humming far away, feel power moving under the ground. What am I now?" he asked. The dragon answered softly. "You are what they feared, a human who was never meant to kneel." Above the city, unseen eyes turned toward the scrapyard. The hunt had begun. The system detected him. The city did not sleep that night. High above the steel towers, silent drones moved through the sky like dark birds. Red lights blinked as scanners searched every street, every building, every shadow. They were hunting something, or someone. In the scrapyard, Elier stood still, his back pressed against cold metal. His breathing was slow now, controlled, but his heart felt different, stronger, heavier, alive. The dark mark on his chest pulsed softly under his clothes. "Do not panic," the dragon's voice said inside him. "Fear makes mistakes." Elier swallowed. They're coming for me, aren't they? Yes. No lies. No comfort. Elier peeked between two broken ship hulls. In the distance, armored vehicles rolled through the outer streets. Soldiers moved with weapons raised. Their visors glowed blue as scanners swept the air. They will kill me, Elier whispered. A pause. Only if you allow it. Elier clenched his fists. I don't know how to fight. You do not need to fight, the dragon replied. You need to stand. A drone suddenly stopped midair above the scrapyard. Its red eye turned. Locked on. A sharp alarm echoed. Target found. Elier's eyes widened. Now what? Now, the dragon said calmly. You stop hiding. The drone fired. A bolt of energy screamed toward Elier. Instinct moved faster than thought. Elier raised his hand. The bolt stopped. It froze in the air, shaking like trapped lightning, then shattered into sparks. Elier stared at his hand, shocked. I did that. You allowed it, the dragon corrected. The drone exploded. Across the city, alarms screamed louder. Soldiers rushed toward the scrapyard. Heavy boots hit metal ground. Lights flooded the area. There, a voice shouted. Take him down. Energy fire filled the air. Elier ran. Not away. Forward. Shots missed him, barely. The world felt slower now, like he could see every movement before it happened. A blast hit the ground near his feet. The ground answered. Metal plates lifted, bending upward like walls, blocking the fire. Soldiers froze. What the hell is he? One yelled. Elier's hand shook. I don't want to hurt anyone. Then don't, the dragon said. Show them. A massive armored soldier charged him, weapon raised. Elier closed his eyes. Stop. The soldier flew backward, slammed into a scrap pile like a broken toy. Silence fell. Everyone stared at the thin boy standing alone in the scrapyard. Unarmed. Untouchable. A commander stepped forward, voice amplified. Elier, he said, you are carrying illegal dragon energy. Surrender now, and you may live. Elier opened his eyes. They never offered me anything before, he said quietly. The commander frowned. This is not a negotiation. Elier felt something rise inside him. Not anger. Resolve. I didn't choose this, Elier said. But you don't get to erase me again. The mark on his chest burned bright. The ground trembled. A shadow formed behind Elier, large, sharp, unfinished. Golden eyes opened in the dark. Soldiers stepped back in fear. That's not registered, someone whispered. The commander's voice shook. All units, retreat. Too late. The shadow let out a low sound. Not a roar. A warning. Machines shut down. Lights died. Weapons fell silent. Powerless. Elier stood at the center of it all, breathing hard. I don't want war, he said. But I won't disappear. The shadow faded. Systems rebooted slowly. By the time the soldiers recovered, Elier was gone. Far above the planet, in a hidden council chamber, ancient beings watched the data scroll past. One spoke softly. The unwanted dragon has bonded. Another replied, voice tight with fear. With a human. Silence followed. Then a single order echoed through the chamber. Prepare the fleets. Back in the dark tunnels beneath the city, Elier leaned against the wall, exhausted. What happens now, he asked. The dragon's voice was quiet, but powerful. Now, the galaxy learns that humans do not need permission to rise. When the unwanted dragon opened its eyes, the underground tunnel shook. Dust fell from the ceiling as Elier leaned against the cold wall, breathing hard. His body felt heavy, like he had run for days without rest. The power inside him was still moving, restless, alive. You shut down their weapons, Elier whispered. You scared them. Fear is the first truth, the dragon replied quietly. Now they will listen. Elier pushed himself upright. I don't want to be a weapon. A pause. Neither did I. They moved deeper into the tunnels. Old paths built before the city rose above them. Far behind, alarms echoed. The hunt had slowed, but it had not stopped. Then Elier felt it. Something ancient. Something watching. He stopped walking. Someone else is here, he said. The dragon's voice hardened. Not someone. Something. The tunnel lights flickered, then died. Darkness swallowed everything. A deep pressure filled the air, heavy enough to make Eliur's knees bend. From the shadows, a massive shape appeared, transparent, glowing blue. A star dragon, but not free. Chains of light wrapped around its body, digging into its scales. Its eyes were wide, filled with pain. Eliur stared. Had they chained a dragon? The dragon inside him answered with quiet anger. They call it control. The chained dragon spoke, its voice weak but clear. Humans, step away. Eliur shook his head. They're hurting you. Humans always do, the dragon replied. The chains tightened. The dragon screamed. Eliur's chest burned. The mark over his heart glowed hot. Stop it, Eliur shouted. Careful, the unwanted dragon warned. If you act, they will know what you are. Eliur clenched his teeth. They already do. He stepped forward. The chains pulled harder, trying to drag the chained dragon away. Eliur raised his hand. The chains cracked. Every light in the city above flickered. In the sky, satellites shifted, locking onto the energy spike. In the Dragon Council chamber, ancient eyes widened. That energy impossible, one whispered. It's not bonded power, another said in fear. It's shared. Back in the tunnel, the chain shattered. The star dragon collapsed, free at last. It stared at Eliur, not with anger. With shock. You broke command chains, it said slowly. No human can do that. Eliur's voice trembled. I didn't mean to. The unwanted dragon spoke through him now, clear and strong. He did not command you. He chose you. The free dragon's eyes widened. You whispered, you are the forbidden one. Before Eliur could speak, the tunnel walls exploded. Soldiers poured in from all sides. Heavy weapons locked on target. In the sky above the city, citizens stopped and looked up. The clouds were moving. Something massive was descending. A human broadcast hijacked every screen. This is a planetary security announcement, a calm voice said. Remain indoors. But it was too late. The unwanted dragon rose. Not fully. Not yet. But enough. A colossal shadow spread across the city, blocking the stars. Golden eyes opened in the sky, calm and endless. People screamed. Dragons in orbit pulled back in fear. The unwanted dragon spoke, not loudly, but clearly. I was sealed because I refused to kneel. I was erased because I refused to obey. And now, the shadow leaned closer to the city. I have chosen. Eliur stood at the center of it all, small and human, but no longer weak. The commander's voice trembled over open comms. All units stand down. The unwanted dragon's eyes narrowed. No, it said calmly. You will remember this moment. The shadow vanished. The sky cleared. Silence fell. Across the galaxy, one truth spread faster than light. A human had freed a dragon. A dragon had chosen a human. And the balance had cracked. Eliur looked up at the empty sky. What happens now, he asked. The unwanted dragon answered softly. Now, they decide whether to kneel or burn. The truth dragons buried. The galaxy reacted in silence. Not screams. Not chaos. Silence. In the high chambers of the Dragon Council, ancient beings watched the replay again and again. The image of a human boy standing beneath a dragon's shadow burned into every mind. This should not exist, one elder dragon said. It does, another replied coldly. And that is the problem. The council chamber shook as a massive dragon rose. He carries the unwanted one, it growled. The dragon who refused the bond loss. The dragon who nearly ended us, another snapped. Across the chamber, a thin voice spoke. He nearly freed us. Silence fell again. Far below on the human world, Eliur hid in the deep ruins beyond the city. The tunnels were ancient, untouched by scanners. Fires burned low. Refugees whispered in fear. They whispered his name. Eliur. Some called him a monster. Others called him hope. Eliur sat alone, his back against stone. His hands shook, not from fear but from weight. Every breath felt heavy now. I never asked for this, he said quietly. No one who changes history ever does, the unwanted dragon replied. Eliur looked up. They chained dragons. Humans did that. Yes. Why? The dragon was silent for a long time. Then it showed him the truth. Stars filled Eliur's mind. Ancient wars. Human fleets burning under dragon fire. Entire colonies erased in moments. Humans have been prey until they learned. Your kind learned to fear extinction, the dragon said. So you built the bond system. Elier saw it now. Bonding was not trust. It was control. Then dragons allowed it? Elier asked. Because fear makes cowards of gods, the dragon answered. Elier closed his eyes. So, I am the mistake. You are the reminder, the dragon said. Above the planet, human command fleets gathered. Weapons charged. Leaders argued. He is too dangerous. He shut down a city. He broke dragon chains. One general slammed his fist down. If dragons turn on us again, millions die. Another voice answered softly. Or we stop kneeling. On the dragon side of the galaxy, younger dragons gathered in secret. They whispered stories of chains breaking, of a dragon who chose freely. Hope spread. Fear spread faster. Back in the ruins, Elier felt it. The pressure again. A message forced into every channel, every screen, every mind. The Dragon Council spoke. Human Elier, the voice echoed. You carry forbidden power. Release the unwanted dragon and kneel. Elier stood. I won't. Gasps echoed across the world. The council's voice hardened. Then you choose war. Elier felt the dragon stir inside him, calm and ready. This is where it begins, it said. Elier stepped forward, his voice steady. Then hear me. The ground trembled. I was weak. I was unwanted. Your systems erased me before I was born. The mark on his chest glowed brighter. But humans are not weak because we lack fire or wings. Power surged. We are strong because we stand when we are afraid. Above the planet, fleets stopped moving. Dragons listened. Humans listened. Elier raised his head. You taught the galaxy to fear dragons, he said. I will teach it to fear humans who refuse chains. The message ended. Across the stars, alliances shattered. The first war orders were written. And deep within the unwanted dragon, something ancient smiled. Now they remember, it whispered, why we once feared your kind. The boy who refused to kneel. The war did not begin with explosions. It began with fear. Across human space, fleets stood ready but unmoving. Pilots waited in silence. Soldiers watched their screens, hands shaking as dragon signals filled the dark between stars. No one fired first. Everyone waited for the boy. Elier stood on the surface of his world, wind pulling at his jacket. Above him, the sky burned with light as ships from both sides gathered. Human steel faced ancient scales. The unwanted dragon moved inside him, calm and vast. This is the moment, it said. If you fall, humanity kneels forever. Elier swallowed. And if I stand, then the galaxy changes. A massive dragon descended from the clouds, wings wide, scars glowing. Its voice thundered across the planet. Human, it roared. Kneel, or be erased. Elier did not move. I know my whole life, he said softly. I won't do it again. Weapons powered up. Energy filled the sky. A human commander shouted over open comms. Elier, give the order. We are ready. Elier closed his eyes. No, he said. Everyone froze. We don't strike first, Elier continued. We stand. We protect. We endure. The unwanted dragon stirred, something like pride in its voice. Very well. The dragon in the sky attacked. Fire fell like a star. Elier raised his hand. The fire split, curving around him, crashing harmlessly into the ground. Shock spread across every channel. He redirected dragon fire. More dragons charged. Human shields flared. Ships fell from the sky. The battle exploded. Elier stepped forward, power rolling from him in waves. Where he walked, machines woke. Shields strengthened. Wounded soldiers rose, stunned but alive. He was not destroying. He was refusing to fall. A young dragon broke formation and dove toward him, not attacking. Surrendering. I will not wear chains again, it said. Then another followed. And another. Dragon ranks fractured. The council screamed orders. Destroy the traitors. But it was too late. Humans saw it. Dragons saw it. This was not domination. This was choice. A council war beast descended, massive and terrible. Its roar shook continents. You defy order, it thundered. You defy gods. Elier looked up, eyes steady. Then maybe God should listen. The unwanted dragon rose fully now, no longer shadow, no longer hidden. Vast, ancient, free, the war beast froze. Fear rippled through dragon ranks. The unwanted dragon spoke once. Enough. The war stopped. Weapons power down. The galaxy held its breath. Elier stood at the center of it all, a human boy among stars and gods. He did not conquer. He endured. And endurance broke what fire could not. Humanity's answer. The silence after the war felt unreal. Ships drifted in the sky, weapons cold. Dragons hovered without fire. No one moved. No one spoke. The galaxy waited. Elier stood on broken ground, the wind brushing his face. He was tired, not just in body but in spirit. Power still moved inside him, vast and calm, but it no longer felt heavy. It felt shared. The unwanted dragon rested behind him, no longer hidden, no longer feared. Its massive form reflected starlight, not as a god, but as a witness. The Dragon Council opened a final channel. Their voices were quieter now. Human Elier, they said, the war has stopped. Speak. Elier took a breath. I was born unwanted, he said, not because I was dangerous, but because I was invisible. Images spread across the stars, cities, scrapyards, broken children watching bonding tests from behind fences. You built systems to control fear, Elier continued. We did too. He looked up at the dragons. But chains do not create peace. They only delay the next war. A pause. Then a human leader spoke. What do you want, Ellie? Elier answered without anger. A choice. The unwanted dragon's voice joined his, calm and deep. Enforce bonds. End chains. Let dragons choose. Let humans rise without permission. The galaxy trembled, not with power, but with fear of change. One elder dragon lowered its head. We were afraid, it admitted. Afraid of humans who adapt. Afraid of ourselves. Another spoke, voice breaking. And we forgot what freedom felt like. The council bowed, not to Elier, to the idea he carried. Across human space, orders changed. Weapons power down. Fleets returned home. The bond system was shut off. Its glowing towers went dark for the first time in history. Children watched in silence. Some cried. Some smiled. Elier felt the mark on his chest fade. Not disappear, but soften. You did not rule them, the unwanted dragon said quietly. You reminded them. Elier looked at the dragon. What will happen to you? The dragon's eyes glowed warm. I will no longer hide. I will no longer command. I will choose. The dragon lifted its wings. Others followed, not as an army, as equals. Years later, stories spread across the galaxy. They spoke of a boy who had nothing, a dragon no one wanted, in a moment when humanity did not conquer, but stood. Children still bonded with dragons. But now both sides chose freely. And when asked how peace was won, historians gave a simple answer. Humans did not rise because they were stronger. They rose because they refused to kneel. And somewhere, in a quiet corner of the stars, Elier smiled. Not as a hero, but as proof.